The Kansas City Chiefs are now 2-0 on the season after an impressive victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. But they did suffer a tough loss as one of their key offensive playmakers had a huge injury. We will go over my main takeaways from Sunday's action and discuss how the Kansas City Chiefs offense will look like without Isaiah Pacheco. Now with that, let's cut the chit chat and let's have some fun. It is a beautiful feeling to wake up and being 2-0 on this young season. But Chiefs Kingdom, I'm not going to lie to you, it is not all sunshine and rainbows. We all watched that crazy action and it was tough. But it's great to get a win. And before we get into this craziness, I do want to thank Chiefs Kingdom first and foremost for joining the live stream, enjoying the chaotic craziness that unfolded. It was good to knock the rust off my shoulders and get ready for what this season has in store. But let's discuss all this craziness and let's jump feet first into it and go into the major news is that Isaiah Pacheco will now miss an extended period of time after he suffered an injury to his ankle Achilles area. It was actually a fracture to his fibula to be exact. That will keep him out 6 to 8 weeks. And this is huge. And it's really unfortunate for a player like Isaiah Pacheco because even though the Kansas City Chiefs don't solely depend on the run, he is a huge asset for this offense. And now they got to find what will they do moving forward. The most thankful part is, even though it's unfortunate, it wasn't the worst scenario outcome because a fractured fibula can keep players out for the whole season. So 6 to 8 weeks brings back a timetable around into November, early December, and then you got to believe he's got to knock some of the rust off because a running back, his legs, his feet are the most important thing. He is not going to feel like himself right away. So I'm wishing Pop a speedy recovery, and it just sucks. It really does because we lose Hollywood Brown last week for an extended period of time, and now we lose Isaiah Pacheco. Those are two key offensive playmakers that already kind of in a depleted core from last year. We don't know how we'll look moving forward, but best believe them boys will have them ready. And speaking on having these boys ready, you gotta view the running back room in depth in whole now because I have made it a pinpoint interest from training camp to preseason. This running back room is slim. And now that Samaje Perine signing is looking phenomenal as the day goes on. But even after that, it is still slim. You don't have Isaiah Pacheco. You don't have Clyde Edwards-Helaire because you can't forget he is on injured reserve until week 5. So what are the Kansas City Chiefs going to do? Because I don't solely believe they really fully trust in Carson Steele like that or Samaje Perine. And then they also got guys like Keontae Ingram on the practice squad. So they're going to go knocking on the door for a familiar face. And this is honestly very surprising to me because Chiefs Kingdom has been knocking on this door. Chiefs Kingdom has been begging for a move like this. And let me just cut the anticipation. Kareem Hunt is coming in for a visit tomorrow. I don't really believe this is a tryout. I don't believe they're going to see where he's at. I believe this visit is going to be a one-on-one sit down with Clark Hunt. If he basically, I don't want to say clears his name, but if it's a good conversation in whole and it shows he has matured from his past and it's literally been since 2019, Kareem Hunt will be a Kansas City Chief again, and Chiefs Kingdom will be all up in arms about it. And I don't want to underplay it either. I will be happy that Kareem Hunt will be back, but I want to temper expectations if the Chiefs do sign Kareem Hunt. Because let's be real, Kareem Hunt is a 29-year-old running back. The last time we seen Kareem Hunt in a Kansas City Chiefs jersey hurdling players was back in 2019. He is not the same type of running back. He is not an every down back. So please don't think Kareem Hunt is going to come on this team and be a 1,000-yard rusher and challenge Isaiah Pacheco for his job. That is not going to be the case. I really believe the Chiefs expect from Kareem Hunt, if he is added this team, to be a good complementary back to Carson Steele. Yes, I do think moving forward, Carson Carson Steele is going to be the lead back for this team. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to focus heavy on the run, but do they really ever? I think Carson Steele is going to be your first and second down back. You can have Kareem Hunt as your third down back or your rotation back, and then Samaje Perine is going to be your receiving back. And then once he starts learning the playbook more, he's going to be more involved into this offense. I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs doing anything crazy and trading for a running back. I did mention today it would be nice to see him trade for a guy like Miles Sanders, free him out of Carolina, or even take a risk and go and try to get Austin Eckler. And when I mean a risk, I mean just try to trade for a running back, because we know no one will trade with the Kansas City Chiefs. But they're very aware of that. And now that they got a timeline for Isaiah Pacheco of 6 to 8 weeks, they don't have to go crazy with it. It was kind of best case, but not worst case scenario that he is not going to be out until playoff time. So you just got to stick with what you have and move forward and hope for the best. And Coach Reid showed in yesterday's game against the Bengals, he does trust in Carson Steele, because Carson Steele did have an unfortunate fumble, but he didn't shy away from him. And that's what we know Coach Reid to be. And even after that, Carson Steele did answer the bell. He did have some few impressive runs. And once he gets his wheels turning and gets more comfortable in this offense, he can be a productive back. He is not an Isaiah Pacheco. Kareem Hunt is not Kareem Hunt from 2019 as well. So please, Chiefs Kingdom, please temper your expectations if the Chiefs do sign Kareem Hunt. I do think he will be a serviceable back, but he is nowhere and nothing like he was in 2018 and 2019. Now let's get into the takeaways from Sunday's crazy action against the Cincinnati Bengals. And a lot of this is going to be seeming negative, and it's going to be crazy because they are 2-0, but doesn't mean they got holes they need to fix. And let's talk about the biggest hole we have discussed throughout the whole offseason, and it is Patrick Mahomes' blind side. And Kingsley Samatea got a huge welcoming to the NFL by Trey Hendrickson, and it was a rough watch. It even came to a point in the fourth quarter where Andy Reid had to pull him and just had to get his head together. And Coach Reid even mentioned today he doesn't know who the starting left tackle will be for next week. Now, is that hearsay? It could be. He may roll with Kingsley, but it may be something to focus on in the future, and we may now have a legit left tackle battle with Wanya Morris after that performance. I really think they should stick with Kingsley Samatea moving forward because it's a rookie performance. He's going to have these kind of things. Maybe not that bad ever again, but he needs these kind of things to help grow and mature, and I'd rather have it now than in December. I would love to see him start against Atlanta and see what kind of wake-up call he has and see how he responds. I really don't want to see Wanya Morris start next week. Only in a certain case scenario, if Kingsley starts and he looks terrible again, then you got eyebrows to raise and you got things to address, and you may have to dip into that left tackle market and see if you can get a serviceable veteran, which Donovan Smith is out there, but he's not even all they'll go right home to as well. So I just hope Kingsley Samatea learns from this, matures, and then he is good moving forward. I'm not going to press the panic button on him yet. It's only week 2. If this happened in week 8 to week 10, then yes, but this is week 2. He faced a Pro Bowl, all-pro caliber defensive end. It happens, unfortunately. Let's just hope it doesn't happen again, because as we mentioned, as his bad play happened, it also got into the head of Patrick Mahomes. And you can literally tell, because I remember in 2022, when Mahomes had a terrible line, he was forcing balls, and that's exactly how it looked here, where he had multiple interceptions, and Patrick Mahomes just did not look good. We can say that, guys. He is the GOAT. He is the greatest, but he can still have bad games. And that happened again against the Cincinnati Bengals. And honestly, the Cincinnati Bengals defensive coordinator frustrates the hell out of the Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes. They got our number, but the Chiefs are finding a way to pull out wins. And that's the biggest thing to walk home to and talk about is after a terrible performance, after Mahomes throws multiple interceptions as he only throws 151 yards, they still eke out a win with a potential playoff team. That is huge. This team always finds a way to win. So as bad as it looks, as negative as it may be, as bad as that left tackle play was, we're still 2-0. So it's time to correct some things and make sure you keep adding up these W's. That way when you get into November and December playing your best football, you're going to be a scary team and no one will ever want to play. And my last kind of alarming thing, again, I'm not pressing that button hard just yet, but it is a cause for concern right now. After back-to-back weeks, the Kansas City Chiefs secondary is locking down the wide receivers. But man, these offenses are finding their tight ends and they are eating up our secondary and our linebacking core, and they have no answer for it. That needs to change because this has been ridiculous. Tight ends are moving like wide receivers against our defense, and it has been very, very hard to watch. I was just hoping it was Isaiah Likely, how the Ravens schemed up and made it look good. No, the Bengals did the exact same thing with 2 tight ends as well. That has got to change. You're doing great against the receivers. You're even doing good stopping the run as well. The D-line is making plays. But our linebackers have looked very, very pitiful. And I've been putting a lot of blame on Nick Bolton, but Drew Tranquill did not look good in coverage also. The only linebacker that's looked good so far this year is Leo Chanel. And I can't even highlight coverage there because he's looked good stopping the run and getting into the backfield. I've seen him take another level, but I need these linebackers to answer the bell. I need them to step up because the secondary is doing their thing. This D-line is doing their thing in a sense. Right now, that linebacker looks like a huge weak spot, and it's really unnecessary because you got vets on there with Nick Bolton and with Drew Tranquill. It's time to rise to the occasion because I can't see these tight ends just keep killing our defense week in and week out. Can we highlight some players and talk some positivity into this? We are 2-0 for crying out loud, and I'm just throwing negativity left and right. Let's knock that off, and let's highlight a huge key young defender that has been primed and is looking phenomenal these first 2 weeks, and it is Chamari Connors. And literally solely on his play is probably the reason why the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Actually, what Spags drew up yesterday was beautiful. He did what he normally did. Hey, we're going to tease you a little in the first half. We're going to test things here and out, and then once it comes third and fourth quarter, you're going to feel our boys and they're going to come after you. And that's exactly what it was. But Chamari Connors is a stud in the making, and I'm so excited to see him on this defense just blossoming and growing into the kind of DB we all hope for. He is all over the field. He's a DB. He's a safety. Shoot, he may even play some linebacker. I am excited to see when it comes November type of football and December type of football, what Chamari Connors will be all about. I can literally see him going to be one of the best nickels, cornerback, safety, you name it. He's going to be a name that people won't forget. And then the last guy we're going to highlight, it's Harrison Butker, Mr. Guarantee now himself. Did you see how Coach Reed didn't even try to go for any extra yards? He was like, this is 51-yarder. Harrison Butker is going to walk it off. We're going to go 2-0. That is just such a great feeling. And it's crazy to think that I really believe, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker is the best kicker in the league. He has literally been guaranteed from any spot. I still get the jitters. You guys still hear me on the live stream, and it's probably because I have some trauma from Harrison Butker a couple years ago when he was injured, missing easy kicks, but I shouldn't really hold that against him. I think he has really surpassed Justin Tucker, who has only made one of his last 8 kicks beyond 50. Harrison Butker is the new king of the NFL when it comes to kicking. I also want to praise the special team as well because Matt Araiza has arrived. We all love Tommy Townsend. We all love what he's about, but man, he never had a leg of what Matt Araiza has. He was bombing the ball yet again, and he had his first punt pinned inside the 2. It was a beautiful thing to see. It really, really was. And for my last positive shout out of the video, can we highlight Jalen Watson a little bit? I think he has officially solidified himself as cornerback number 2. I came into the season dogging him. I saw him in preseason looking like complete dog crap, coming off injury. He just needed to knock some rust off. I'm sorry, Jalen. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you, but he is officially cornerback 2 in my eyes, and I'm comfortable with him. And I think he will keep growing up and maturing as more snaps keep going and as he keeps playing more and more ball. I love the athleticism of Joshua Williams that always catches my eye, but right now, Jalen Watson is an NFL quarterback. Come on, guys. Can I get my mouth talking straight? Cornerback, and he is ready to hit the NFL stage and prove a point. Now with that, as I continue to stumble on words, I am going to cut this video off. Chiefs Chiefs Kingdom, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you did like this video, please hit that big thumbs up. I'm gonna have videos coming out throughout the week. We comfortable now. We got the rust knocked off. We gonna go live again for Sunday Night Football against the Falcons. That's gonna be a crazy game. Don't just think because it's the Falcons, it's a give me. We know how the Chiefs play. So please be sure to look out for that. Once it is up, please hit that bell icon, notify. That way we're gonna get as many Chiefs fans in there and the live chat will be popping yet again. I enjoyed making this video. Y'all take care. Peace.